Curiosity, do you get called Ange as anything? I just thought about that now. Like, oh,
No.
I want it to be a sore spot.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're live on YouTube. Okay, we just need one more member per quorum.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Alex. Happy New Year, Sarah.
Hi, everyone.
Sarah or Virginia, I thought you were gonna get one.
I was out for a little bit, but I was in stuff ready.
Last night I said.
Oh, yeah, I emailed you back.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have my, I thought I lost my capsule. It's just separate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to you about the
Okay.
birthday party stuff after.
Did you have a nice holiday?
So Stephanie and Madison should be joining us, they both accepted, so.
Okay.
It should be, I'm sure it'll be along any minute.
That was nice. Everyone kind of got to play though, like everyone in town was there.
And I went to pick my daughter up from university on the 18th, and she ended up, by Tuesday, she wasn't feeling well, and Wednesday she wasn't feeling well, and then I started not feeling well in the car ride home from Ottawa. I was like, oh. Those quarters for TV days with her. But it was quick, it was only a couple days. And then I was feeling better, so.
I got the flu one and it was just like 12 hours, but I was so sick that ribs in my abdomen were sore for a month.
I was just exhausted. I was just exhausted. I had no, like a little bit of a cough, but no other symptoms.
We were also in Kingston on the break, and yeah, we were sick for the drive back too. And what we noticed was like every 100K or so from Kingston to Northern Ontario, there was an en route, a beautiful pullover, Starbucks, nice washroom facilities, everything you kind of need. And then it seemed as soon as you hit that Northern Ontario like political line, we had 2 outhouses.
Yeah, I think the last one you hit is that one just before Perry Sound. There's like a nice kind of, it's not an en-route, well, maybe it is an en-route. But it's got the complex there with a bunch of restaurants and the gas, and I think that's kind of the last one.
And it's just wild, yeah.
I'm surprised you guys don't fly from Ottawa. It's a long drive.
Yeah, it's not, I was picking up more than her, so it wasn't just Emma, it was her boyfriend as well, and then they're flying back. So they're going to Detroit Lions game on Sunday, and then they're flying from Detroit to Ottawa. I got to do shopping.
That part is nice. Is that one lane or so?
I don't mind it actually.
No.
No, it's actually a pretty drive through sections of it, so. I don't mind driving at all. It doesn't bother me too much. And it wasn't bad, like, I was worried about winter weather, but the roads were
Yeah.
clear this year, so I'd be a little bit more hesitant for, I think, the final February for break instead of driving.
Nice.
I'm sure the roads will be a lot worse.
That would be nice. See if you have snow now.
I think we're supposed to get snow on Friday. Is that what the forecast said? Friday we're supposed to start together?
That public works budget is looking good.
So, yeah.
I shouldn't say that out loud, eh? Not, knock on wood.
Supposed to still be a bit tomorrow, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then possibly Tuesday. Friday evening.
What are the temperatures looking like?
Tomorrow was -5. Then Friday, Saturday it's -1, Sunday goes up to 0. Monday it's -3, and then Tuesday it's 1.
So it's still fairly rude.
Yeah.
More. But like that's, 0 is like when it would snow.
We'll see. Groups are up at camp and they said there's absolutely no ice, nothing on Ranger Lake. There's no snow when they got up there on Monday.
Friends of mine were skating at Northland. Like,
Yeah, well, a couple of the smaller lakes seem to have ice,
Mhm.
but Ranger Lake's pretty big, so there's not even any ice ashore. But I don't know if I would go out on the ice with the weather like that.
people were
On the lakes, I'd be scared. Well,
You guys been out skiing?
no, I haven't.
I don't ski, but I know people have been enjoying.
Yeah, it's nice now that they have a better summer.
We're off to camp right after the meeting.
Camp, Alex.
We're at Batchewana.
Nice. You can go enjoy the beach.
Mhm.
Yeah, I keep seeing Instagram from friends and people that are skating on these lakes. So I'm hoping to find that.
You won't find that on Lake Superior.
I was
No,
actually
no,
on the beach.
no, I'm sure.
I was actually on the beach in Batchewana on January 1st. So no ice, no snow, still sand, but a little bit cool.
Yeah.
Close to my camp anyways.
That sounds lovely. Yeah, we're looking forward.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to come?
Stephanie and Madison.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go see if anybody's caught in the lot. Does anybody have any vacation plan for the next month or two?
And
In the day of-
nice.
think this is my last chance to. propose it. And this is about the best way.
Where?
Hmm.
That's true. That part's true. Yeah.
It's bad enough. Oh, Addison's here.
All right. Okay, so opening the meeting at 12:11. I acknowledge with respect that we are in Robertson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Gwaning. Gwaning is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and the Sault Ste. Marie Historic Métis Council. So is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
I'll adopt, or I can see Angela there. Also, Nicole, I love how you did that land acknowledgement.
Thank you. All right, so Angela and then seconded by Alex. Then any declaration of pecuniary interests? Nope, okay, and then adoption of the agenda. Has everyone reviewed it? Is there anything we would like to add, subtract? Nope, can I have a motion to adopt?
Sarah, I can.
Sarah, and a seconder. Oh, is that, yes, Maddie. I think it's just your mouse. It's not you.
Oh. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Okay, seconded? So,
Maddie did. It did pop up.
thanks, Maddie.
So business arising, we have the museum bell. So in that package, you will see there is the revised proposal. But Will is also here with us today, so he can actually give an update on the situation. Because we did have some new vandalism, and also so that he can answer any questions that you have. So I can hand it off to you, Will.
Okay, okay, so I guess we've re-prepared the proposal for you guys to take a look at. This includes a little bit of a better breakdown of the cost that's actual for the restoration work that we've proposed, as well as some alternative options that I believe were discussed at the last meeting. So I don't know if there's specific questions or comments that I can help address. The one thing I will say is that, again, vandalism has occurred to the bell. So we're looking at further vandalism, some more restoration work. And I feel if we don't do anything soon, it's just going to keep happening.
And part of the budget does include sort of a little carriage house for the bell, which will act sort of as like a little like protection for the bell, so that it'll be harder for people to vandalize it. So that will be protecting the artifact. So if they damage the cupola, it'll be easy for us to clean that off, since it's not an artifact, but the bell, we have to be careful since it is 110 years old.
So, I had a question. In one of our last meetings, we had discussed potentially moving the bell inside the museum.
Yes, so that is in there. The thing with moving it inside is you're gonna have the cost of somebody to move it, not only to move it, but to safely handle and lift the bell. And then where you place it, a load survey has to be done to figure out how much that spot can hold, because the bell is very heavy, so you will have to do that load survey. So depending on where you're gonna want to move it to, you're gonna have to be prepared to do that survey.
And so that would come in at like, sorry if I missed it, is it in here? Is that-
It's not in the cost because, we were able to go through and, to get it all wrapped up in time and everything like that, to go find out how much it would be to do the cost of the survey. But the other thing too, is that right now, just to build the carriage support is $510. This survey to find the load is probably gonna be close to that, if not more. Then you're gonna have the cost of moving it to do and then the cost of doing the reinforcements of the floor if necessary. Plus, you're still gonna have to do the conservation, so none of the conservation costs are gonna be diminished. So the only thing with moving it inside is you're going to be adding costs to it. Yes, it will be more protected from vandalism, but it will be less visible to the public, as it's sort of a big feature piece of our history, as this was the resounding sound that for many years was a big part of the city, as this was the time clock sort of the city. So we'd be losing that, so not, our visitors wouldn't be able to see it. So that would be another thing too, as to why the committee originally wanted to put it in the garden, so that it could be that big visual.
Right, and I was just gonna add in from a budget perspective, so the original proposal looked at 20 to 30 days, so at the time, they were estimating a minimum of 20 days, which would have been about 8,000 in wages plus the materials and the cost, which would have been a minimum of 9,000. The revised one, when I was reviewing it, the wages are down to anywhere from 2,800 to 3,200, so that's a drop of $5,000. Those other costs are still there for the other two pieces. Prior to, so the options for funding it would have been to go through the grant process. But if it was sitting at a minimum of 9,000, that would have pretty much wiped out all of the grant funding for the heritage properties. I have an update. We have $4,759 in the reserve, and we now also have the 2024 allocation of $12,000 available. So that's option one. Option two is to make a request that money from other capital projects that have been allocated for the museum, so funds that council has allocated for museum projects, this year HVAC was approved and some point work. Funds could be shifted from one project to another, but that has to go through an approval process and council has to approve that. Or it gets put forward as a request to the 2025 budget request. So those are the options from a financial standpoint to fund this project.
The cupola, to me, looks still open. Is that true?
Yes, so we could look at ways of closing it in, depending on what we would like to look at. So if we do want to close it in, we would like find a material to do it. It wouldn't be entirely closed in, because if you do completely seal it, it'll kind of create sort of like a heat box. So it'll, at least if you protect like the majority of the little spaces, will be open, they won't really be able to go in there and spray paint it too much. So at least if we're looking at something covering that, it would help. And we might only be able to do 3 corners, because the back is fairly close to the wall. So we might not have to do that. And the sides are sort of still fairly covered by these sort of like iron structures of the standing, so we might not even have to do like a plexiglass on the sides, it could just be the front. So that could be something we could look at, once it's built, so, like another, like additional cost to, buy that, is it necessary to have the 2 extra hands?
Okay, so from my perspective, just from what I see in here, vandalism is the issue, but we're not gonna be correcting that anyway with the gable.
Well, like with the gable, it's basically gonna be a big extra like box around it, so it's gonna be another,
Right.
it's gonna be a barrier. So they will have to sort of duck down to get at it, to spray paint it, so it will be a lot trickier for them to really spray paint it, so it'll have to be a lot more of a deliberate act. Because right now too, a lot of this is, I think there's just random people out the
Right,
front.
but if we're spending this money
Yes,
to get it cleaned up. And then we're building the structure, and then we're like, hopefully, fingers crossed, the vandals are lazy.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem right to me.
I think, I agree, you probably want to look at some type of longer term solution so that you're not gonna be back in the same position in June with another, you know, tagging or somebody doing graffiti on the bell again, because it's just gonna continue to, you know, cause ongoing issues, and the cost to remove that's gonna continue to escalate. I think you're better to deal with it up front, so that you're not, you know, here every 6 months trying to, you know, solve a graffiti issue.
Anybody else?
but I think, yeah, for at least we could, if we put one solid plexiglass piece in the front, for sure. And then we could see if the other 2 are necessary, depending on like how protected the sides are.
What do we say at school? We say control the controllables.
Yeah, I would think that at bare minimum, you'd wanna at least do 3 sides. Just because they will get in, and the issues with vandalism and graffiti seem to be escalating throughout the municipality. For this committee's reference as well, there has been a graffiti committee that's been formed to help address that issue. So that committee is actually meeting this month for the first startup meeting. Yeah, so that's something that, you know, we're trying to address as a municipality. But I think, to Alex's point, and, you know, Councilor Caputa's point, we want to make sure that we're resolving it long-term and not just a short-term solution.
I think ultimately, if we're gonna talk about it as an asset, it should be treated like an asset, and if it's not gonna be treated like an asset, then let's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause I think you will have a very hard time getting any funding if this happens again. People are gonna,
With the plexi, and one of the things that I can do is, you know, we did have a lot of plexi that was utilized during COVID. We may have plexi available that would be at no cost, that could potentially be suitable for this type of application. So I can reach out to our carpentry department and to our sign shop to see if we do have plexi available, because that would help reduce that cost, and we could repurpose something that.
Yeah, especially those big hanging ones we have
Yeah.
would be sort of already, maybe even the perfect size for it.
Yeah, as long as it's a thick enough grade that it would
Yeah.
be suitable for outside, those might be a great option that we could repurpose for this project.
And the other thing too is that, the longer that we wait to do this, the more, damage will happen to the valve. So it's also, we sort of wanna, get moving on this so that we could, make sure that.
Alex, do you think that there may be an opportunity for the shops class at Cora? You're at Cora, right?
I'm at Superior Heights.
You're at Superior Heights. I was wondering if maybe one of the shops class would take on the construction as a project. We have worked with shops classes from the different high schools in the past, and they've done some of these as projects before.
Absolutely. So, what I guess I can do from here is propose that to a couple of our shop's teachers, and then you and I can work on the language of that proposal, Virginia, if that would be okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. It might just be,
Okay, I'll touch base.
yeah, it might be an option for, getting some of the labor done, but then also a meaningful project for the students.
And also,
Absolutely. I love the community piece.
yeah, there's like some of the stuff would be pretty easy for like the everyday person to have in their thing, but the school would have like the tools that we don't really have easy access to, so that will also help with that of being like, oh, we don't have this like specialized tool that we need. So yeah.
Yeah,
we can have the schools.
And it might be good timing because they'll be starting to plan their February programming, so hopefully that might be something the teachers take on.
That's exactly what I think as well. Okay, great idea.
Any other questions?
I mean, I guess you have to go with the direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of deciding if the committee wants to utilize funds from the designated heritage property grant to help start the process, or if we wanted to get all of this costing sorted out so that we have a full cost, and then come back at the February meeting with more information and, for Plexi, if the classes are interested in building it, that would then reduce some of those costs, and we'd have a better picture at that point in time. So it's up to the committee which direction.
Does anybody have any?
I like the idea of waiting to see if like any of the teachers bite, and if we have the plexiglass and stuff, so. And then we could approve sort of a more fulsome cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I would put a motion forward to do that if people were agreeable. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, yeah, because like we probably wouldn't really get started on it till like April-ish anyway or whatever, right? Like, so as long, like, once this is sort of approved, we like our conservator can start like the preliminary steps, like the stuff that she can do like to get prepped for it is
Yeah.
basically going to be like what she's prepping to do for the cenotaph.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the prep work so that like come like ready time, she'll be able to go on it.
But the timing of all of that might line up really nicely as well, because if the school's interested, if they're targeting, a project completion date of May for, say, the actual cupola, then, everything's gonna happen all at once so that it's, it's restored, it's protected, and the structure goes up right away.
And also when she was refiguring the cost too, she also was saying, what can I, what some of the stuff I can use for both the cenotaph and the bell. So it's more so like some of the tools that she had to do that. She was able to sort of do that. So that's also why some of the costs went down as well. Okay, so we had the motion of preparing a proposal to approach the schools about building the carriage house. And seeing if we could repurpose the plexiglass. Yeah.
Second.
Sorry, it's Sarah. Do you need a second?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what we want to say first. But thank
Almost
you.
there.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I got one. Resolve that we, Virginia McLeod, investigate options for plexiglass, and A. White investigate options for the ADSB shops programs to build a cupola to assist with project costs. And Sarah, second?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and then if Alex doesn't find anything with, like Clear Heights or whatever, I could contact, Huron.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I also, Alex, is, because were you at, Cora last year?
Yeah, the year before that, actually.
Dennis Dennis Fi is still running the shops program there, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so if Superior's unable, I can also reach out to Dennis and then we can reach out to Huron Superior.
yeah, that sounds lovely. Yeah, let me touch base with our guys at Superior for that project-based learning opportunity, and then we, if they can't, we'll definitely let's seek other community partners at the school.
Cause yeah, for building the carriage house, you have in the proposal, all the material required to build it. And then also, on page 27, of the package, or page 22 of the proposal, you have, images of the carriage house, how it looks. So they can have a better sense of what the kids will be building.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Just to bring that to the teacher team with their planning, that'll all help for sure. Thanks.
So do we need an all in favor for that motion? All in favor? Okay, Sarah, yes. Alex, yes. Maddie, yes.
So, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And Maddie? Thumbs up? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so that is it for the museum though. Perfect. All right. So yes, thank you, Will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
Bye.
Bye. Then next we have Heritage Week. So has there been any update on that?
Yep, so I reached out to the library, to Elise Schofield. We're able to put up displays at both libraries.
Okay.
I've also talked to them, they're planning to put out some artifacts, and they're also going to be doing a book display which features local heritage that week. So that'll be up in their front section of the library. I did also email them all when I returned from holidays last week. I get to hear back from them. I provided a few different options of dates just to see what the times were and if there's a forum. So I'm gonna follow up with them again this week. I'm sure they were quite busy with all the Boxing Day sales and stuff going on in the mall.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow up again to try to confirm options for dates and times, and then I'll send that out to the committee to see if there's committee members that would be available during those time frames. That'll probably, as soon as I hear, that'll go out to committee members prior to the February meeting so that we can get the date set.
Okay. And did they have a theme this year? Have they posted? Still haven't done it.
No, there's no theme. I don't know if they're going to post it. It appears that some of the other municipalities are coming up with their own theme.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something that the committee wants to consider, just because we are getting very
Yeah. close.
tight to the date. So some of the other, like I said, some of the other municipalities have selected their own. So I don't know if that's kind of a new process for them, that they're just letting the committees or each municipality determine what's most appropriate for that municipality.
We could have like local heritage. I don't know if that could be a theme. But then if we do that, we could post or like, push our, local designated sites, saying like, here's all our designated sites. We could push the videos from, the last, Heritage Week we had, I think it was 2-3 years ago. The videos that we made up, push those videos too. Cause so that way there's already a lot of stuff done for it. And then I don't know if we wanna also have like set days where like, I don't know, ask if like the museum wants to do something one day, ask if Kathy wants to do something another day, the bush plane wants to do something another day, so like our local like heritage sites that you can visit.
Yeah, I think that would be good, because you could just going on your local heritage, it just could be celebrating local heritage properties.
Yeah, and then like here's 3 that are actually museums that you can go visit too, which is would be sort of neat. Do we still have those heritage property books?
Yes, we still have all those that we can share.
Yeah, because we can hand out those, because I don't, like, there's been some updates to them, but for the most part, yeah, they're pretty up to date.
Oh.
Ish. Yeah.
They're from a little while ago.
Yeah, well, but I think the only ones that have really been added are sort of, are they like the houses?
Yeah.
Like they're not real, like the big buildings that you could sort of go and visit easily. They're sort of private.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it. Does anybody else have any ideas for Heritage Week? Maddie, do you think, you guys would be able to do something with Algoma in the archives and that?
Yeah, we could probably work something out. I'll have a chat with my team this afternoon and see what we have the capacity for.
Neat.
So I can reach out to Kathy and them. Do you want me to reach out to Jamie?
If you can, that'd be sure. Okay, great.
Okay. So that should be pretty good. Okay. And then yeah, so then if we will have at least 3 sites with the museum, also House and Bush Plane. The library could have like a specific day that's they want to, if they want to do something special, like on one day, they could have it, or they can have 2 days, and then another day for Shigmock.
Yeah.
And variable.
That week's also the short week, so
Oh,
it's
is it?
following Family Day.
Family Day.
Yeah.
Well, usually the
The
Bush Plane does something on Family Day.
Yeah.
So they may even be able to do their heritage thing on Family Day, because I think they're gonna be the only one open on. I don't know if the library is. It might be actually. But I know we'll be closed. We'll close and not be on the base. So that, no motion. Okay. All right, so then moving on to subcommittee and task force updates, we have the heritage trees. So you've sent out the doodle poll. Have we gotten many responses back?
couple.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got this in a reminder. So I sent it out when I returned from vacation, so it kind of went out just after Christmas break. So I'm gonna resend it out again, just to remind everybody. I'm sure it got lost in the pile of emails people got over the holidays. So we're targeting the week of January.
Like,
I
for
think-
the last.
Yeah, I think the week of January 22nd.
Hopefully we'll have some updates for next meeting. So then new business, we don't really have anything. Does anybody have anything they want to add for new business? Okay, correspondence, we didn't really have anything.
Just the bill stuff that he did.
Yeah. So next meeting will be February
Seven.
7th. At noon, so can I have a motion to adjourn? Angela, seconded by Maddie, perfect, thank you. So resolve that we adjourn at 12:40.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Have a
Good
great day.
meeting. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,